guys, welcome to Kendall's Creations podcast. It's a little crafty thing. I'm gonna scoot over because it is very much to one side. Okay, that's better. But it is the 21st episode. Yeah, I don't know why that sounded so weird to say. But today is December 17th. I'm officially done with school for the year. I finished finals today. They kicked my butt. School the past week has been really bad because on Thursday my mental health just really plummeted, and so I've kind of been struggling, but I made it through, and now I get to spend 2 weeks not stressing about school, which is so needed. I put on fake nails for the first time in 3 years, and I love them. It's kind of hard to knit with them on. I got the hang of it last night, but I am going to take these off today just because I want to, and I want to get it into my normal knitting groove. And my heater just turned on because of course it did, and so that's happening. I have a little bit of everything and a lot to talk about. I completely forgot to take out one of my whips, so give me one moment. Although, it's not that hard to grab. Okay, sure. So, starting with finished objects. I have two. Now, I don't know exactly which two they are, but they're the same size. I think it's these two. Maybe. My last two gift knits, which are more Musselburghs. I'm very excited to stop seeing brown for a little while. I've just gotten sick of brown and white and orange over the past month because that's all I've been seeing. But I have all four of them here. These aren't lined up perfectly, but you can tell the stripe on one of the hats is significantly higher than the rest. This was my first one I made in the smaller size because there's a bigger one and a smaller one that I did. And this one is going to go to my mom, and if she wants me to redo the stripe lower, I 100% will. It doesn't sell that big of a deal, but if she's okay with it, I won't. But those are my finished objects. I have 3 whips. One of them you guys have not seen before, but I did talk about last time. Let me toss these over here real quick. Ooh, good, yes. So, whip number 1, what I have made the most progress on since you guys last saw is my purple sock. So, when you guys last saw, I just finished the cuff, haven't done any of the heel. I mean, that's not the heel, that's the foot. No, that's not the foot, that's the leg. Today's been raining, if you can't tell. I had my AP Psych and my Zoology final, so all of my brain power for the day is just gone, and it is 11:50. God, today's gonna be rough. Anyways, so I had the cuff done and none of the leg, but now I have the leg done and technically 2 rows, but I count them in repeats, so there's 16 repeats and 32 rows, and I just count to repeat one right side, one wrong side, and so there's one of them you probably can't tell. I mean, you can kind of see the little divots from the slip stitch. We have that, and I do 50 rows for all of the legs of my socks, just because that's what I like the most, what I fits the best. And so that's that one, and that's using Cascade Yarn Heritage. I don't know the color, I don't have the labels because I kind of cleaned my floor up a little bit. I know you guys can't see, but it was a mess, and I'm pretty sure I threw out the label in the process, but oopsies. And that's actually what the next sock is made out of. It's just a different color. So this one. This one was, I want to say either partially or completely. I think partially, or maybe, I don't know. I don't know where I was last week with this, but I have the whole leg. No, I have the whole leg and the whole cuff, and then I have, I'll only count real quick. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I have half of the heel flap done. So my goal is to finish this one hopefully by Christmas. I honestly don't know. I plan to have both of them done before my winter break is over, so I get cast on a new pair, because this is a second sock and this is a first sock, so I'll have to cast on this one again, and I can cast on a new pair on these needles. But those are my 2 sock whips. There's no progress on my sweater because I've been using all of the needles for my Musselburgh. Well, I've been using needles for my Musselburghs, and that's probably going to stay in hold just a little bit longer. You will see why a bit. But my new cast on / whippy whip, oh, there's something on it, is, I'm trying to find the right side of this. I don't know which way it is. I think it's this way. I don't know. Hold up, my brain hurts. What's going on? Oh, that would be why. Nope, it's this way. So this is my little secret crop, my little secret tank crop, either one, by Jessie Made Designs. I'm using Lion Brand Cotton Candy Blend, Cotton Candy Mix, in the Sky colorway, and this is actually a discontinued yarn I found out. If you guys were here last week, I just stabbed myself with my nail. You guys will know I got 2 of these because I didn't know how much yarn it would take, but based off of the pattern, I only need 1 ball. If I use more, I use more. If I don't, I don't. But I will be keeping the second one since it is a discontinued yarn. So that's my plan. This is coming out a little bit more Christmassy than I thought it would. It's not like, I'm not mad about it. I just, for some reason, I didn't think it would look so much like Christmas lights. I don't know if you guys can tell, but it's like very Christmas-esque to me. And so the band down here, hold it up right, is 1x1 rib, and then this is 3x3, and I feel like 3x3 goes like faster than 1x1, because with 3x3 I'm like, oh, it's just 3 more stitches, oh, it's just 3 more stitches, and like that's just over and over and over again. Whereas I'm like, oh, it's 1 and 1 and 1 and 1 and 1 and 1. Whereas like, oh, if I do 3 more, I'm like, oh, well, I only have 3 pearls. I'm like, oh, well, I have 3 knits. So I do a little bit more, I feel, and it kind of feels like it's going faster because you're not switching your yarn back to front all the time. It's a little like longer between the switch, which I like. And I do really like how this is coming out. I'm excited for it to be done, even though it's not going to be done like anytime soon, because I still have some other projects I need to do. But after a project I will tell you about in a second, as a future cast on, this will be my main project, and the socks will kind of be like side projects, because I don't really like doing that. But what was I going to say? I was going to say something. Oh, I have 4 inches from cast on, and I think the cast on I used, well, I know I used the long tail cast on for this one, because that's what I did for the first sock, and I'm pretty sure the cast on I used for both of these, and for like all socks and all projects where I'm doing ribbing first, I think it's the cable cast on. I don't know, but it creates a very pretty edge that I love. And here, I'll just show you on the bigger one. And it just kind of like goes with it, and I like it a lot. Oh, and the needles I'm using are as per usual. For the socks, I'm using ChiaoGoo red lace, 32-inch circular, and 2.25 millimeters, or a US size 1, I'm pretty sure it's what that translates to. Let me... Oh my god, I never know which needle it's on. Yeah, US size 1. And then this one is also on ChiaoGoo red lace, 32-inch circulars, but this is on... Hold up. 3.75 or US 5 millimeters. And I think... No, I did get 3.5. Because that's what I did for the 1x1 ribbing. And I was a little confused as to like why you would change for band ribbing, but then it kind of hit that you want the band to be tighter. Like, I think my brain's, because I'm like, oh, it's ribbing the whole time. Like, it's not that big of a deal. Didn't quite click to like, oh, the band is what's supposed to like hold it on your body. I mean, aside from like the straps. And then that clicked, and then I realized, oh, that's why. That's why you want to go a size down for the 1x1. So much yarn. But that is all of my like active whips. Again, the sweater is on hold. And before I go into acquisitions, because I have one of them, it's actually coming today, so I'm gonna really quickly make sure it wasn't just delivered outside of my house. No, we're good. But before we get into that, I'm going to tell you what my next project is. And again, if you were here last week, you probably already know. But I'm making a 5th and final Musselburgh for the year. But this one is not going to be a gift. This one's going to be for me. This is going to be my Christmas hat. Well, Christmas Eve hat, technically speaking. So I have to finish this on or before Christmas Eve, because we always go to my grandma's on Christmas Eve, and I'm going to wear this and then my red sweater, which is on my desk and you can't see, but I have to block that. I'm going to do that tonight. And then I'm going to wash all of the Musselburghs I made over the weekend, just to like get the dog hair off and everything, and I'm going to wrap them just so they don't get more dog hair on them. But anyways, so we always go to my grandma's on Christmas Eve, and that's like our big family celebration. And I want to have this done before then. We usually leave here around like 3 or 4 o'clock, and so if I wake up at like noon, we usually do our little gift exchange between like just my little intermediate family, like my mom, my brother, and I here, and then we go to my grandma's and get the big gifts. I mean, since we don't believe in Santa anymore, we know our mom gets us a lot, but we just do like 1 or 2, just so it's like, you know, just like I can give my mom her present, my brother his present, he can give my mom and I his presents. But this year, my brother and my mother will not be receiving presents from me in our house, because all of the Musselburghs are for my mom, my brother, my uncle, and my aunt, and I want them all to open them together, which means that they're going to have to open it at my grandma's. And so I'm going to look like the worst sister/daughter ever until I look like the best sister/daughter/niece ever. And so that's going to be a fun explanation, because obviously I can't tell them why they're not getting a gift until later. But I'm going to just have to hope they assume I made them something and I want to show it to everybody. It's what I'm really banking on, them just hoping. I'm like, I don't want to say narcissistic. Like, I just want everybody to, like, compliment me on my work. But, back on track. So, this is Big Twist Tweed in gray. And I'm going to be making a Musselburgh for me out of it. I'm going to cast it on today after I throw my red sweater. Well, after weaving the ends of my red sweater. And I throw it in its little wash thing for about 20 minutes. But I might do that after my brother leaves for work, just so he doesn't, like, judge me but I'm going to do that today. And so I'm going to cast this on either right after this or right after I throw my sweater in. Either way, it's getting cast on tonight. And I just have to finish it before Friday, so I have to finish it in a week, which I can do. Because due to my mental health taking a very bad hit last Thursday, I was able to finish one of the hats on Friday. Friday? Thursday? One of the 2 days. And so I gave myself a week to do the other hat. Like, Friday to Friday. Hoping, you know, if I don't have it done this week, that's not that big of a deal. I'll probably only have, like, a few decreases left. And I finished it a couple of days ago. Maybe, like, 2. And so I'm thinking if I do Friday to Friday again with the same, like, time frame I have, one, this will actually go quicker because I'm not constantly changing and cutting my yarn for the stripes, and I only have 2 ends to weave in instead of, like, I think I had, like, 10 on that one, again, because I'm not doing the stripes, and so I can just go and I don't have to, like, I have to worry about the inches, but not in the sense of, like, I have to get to this number of inches and then do stripes, and then I can just knit and kind of pay attention in the back of my head of, like, how many inches it is. And the way I do it is I put a marker in every 2 inches just so I can count the markers 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and up to, like, 18 is what I do. And so I don't have to, like, think about it as, like, intensively, like, oh, I need to measure now, I have to measure now, I'm like, oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, okay, 6 more rows until I put in a new marker. And I won't have to worry about stopping at, like, 9 inches or 11 inches or whatever inches to do the stripe, because there will be no stripes. It's just going to be in this plain gray. And there will be enough because I can't find them. I think I put it downstairs, but the balls I used for the smaller ones, there's still, like, a lot left, and I started a new ball with them. And so this is going to be more than enough yarn because those 6 rows aren't going to be, like, I think there's about a third of the ball left. 8 rows aren't going to be a third of the ball. Like, it's just not. And I feel like because it's a personal project, if I put it down for a day or 2, I'm not going to feel guilty. Which I kind of did with the gift knits, because I'm like, what if I don't finish this in time? Like, I'm not going to have anything to give to my family. Whereas now I'm like, if I don't finish in time, I'm just not going to be wearing a beanie. And, like, that's fine. I'm okay with that. And so I'm more comfortable, like, working on this for a little bit, and then switching to some socks, and then switching to my crop top, and then switching back to this kind of more frequently, where I was like, I need to get to a certain amount today so that I'm on track, and then I can do anything else. It's like it's not like a loose deadline, but, like, my schedule isn't going to be as absolutely rigid as, like, it was with that. I was like, at a bare minimum, I need to have to here done. At a bare minimum, I need to have to here done today. It was like, you know, I would like to get to here, I would like to get to here, I would like to get to here, and I would like to get to here with this one. So it's a little less stressful because I don't want to be super stressed out on my winter break. And I feel like this is going to go faster than those ones because I'm not at school for 8 hours a day. Every day, I'm at home all day, every day. And so I get that time back. Even though I'm not going to be waking up at 6 a.m. I'm just not. I'm not a morning person. I literally woke up at 6:36 today and I have to leave my house at 6:36. So I didn't even change my pants. These are the same pants I wore yesterday. Put on a hoodie, grabbed my jacket, got my book bag, and I ran out the door and ran up to my bus stop and still was a little bit late. But luckily she saw me and did not drive off. Like, it was not a good time this morning. So very glad I'm not having to wake up at like 6 a.m. for 2 weeks. I wake up like 10, 11. I'm gonna be happy with that. Just because I don't like waking up at like 1 or 2 because then I like feel weird. But I like waking up around like 10 or 11 because it's still like morning. It's still pretty early on in the day and you can still do a lot in the day before like things close and it like gets dark because it gets dark at like 4 o'clock now. Whereas if you wake up like 2 p.m., like you have like 3-4 hours to go do stuff. And so that's my ideal wake up time. But I will allow myself to catch up on sleep because God knows I've not been getting enough of it because I've been studying for finals and then my mental health wasn't too good. So I didn't have the, like, I don't want to say will, but like I couldn't get myself to go to sleep is how like messed up I was. I was just sitting there like numb. Like I want to go to sleep. I feel that I like if I go to sleep I'll wake up a little bit better, but I just could not get myself to go to sleep until it was like really late, and then I slept in a lot, and I actually slept in on Friday. And so I didn't go to school. My mom wasn't going to send me to school anyways, but I didn't know that. So she walked into my room at like 8 o'clock. I was like, don't you have to be at school? And I'm like, oh my God, yes I do. And she was like, it's fine, I wasn't going to let you go to school anyways. And so I fell back asleep. But I do like kind of being able to have a little weirder schedule. It's not so like rigid. It's nice. But anyways, all of that rambling for no reason. So on to my one and only acquisition, which isn't here. So those of you who are on Instagram, who follow me, which you should, link is in the description as always, will know that I ordered from Forest Lane Fabric Co. on Saturday. And it's just not getting here, even though she's also a Cleveland-based maker. It's not her fault at all. She shipped it out on Monday, and it should have gotten here in a day. But because the Cleveland post office is so just packed and, like, behind, it wasn't scanned in, like, that it arrived at the post office or put out until delivery today. But it was scanned in at, like, 2 a.m., and then it was, like, out for delivery at 6 a.m., so it's not her fault at all. She's, like, it's the postal system, it's not her. And I know that. It's just a little, like, nerve-wracking when you, like, when the post office, like, hasn't received your thing yet, even though, like, you know, she said that she sent it out, but you're just, like, I want that, like, safety of knowing that, like, it wasn't stolen, even though, like, I don't know, but, like, just the safety of knowing, okay, if they got it, it's going to get to my house eventually. But I got, during her 30% off moving sale, which was her last sale until I think she said, like, the spring of next year, because she's moving into her new house, I just had to grab some yarn because it was 30% off. And because I do live so close to her, the shipping was $3.76 instead of, like, your usual $5-6 shipping, because it literally has to travel from, like, one side of Cleveland to the other, which is not that far in the which isn't that far in the scheme of Ohio, let alone in the scheme of the whole country or world, depending on where she ships. But I got her high twist merino stock fingering weight non-superwash in the color Tempest, which I don't know if I'll be able to get a picture up. If I can, I will insert it, but, like, since everything's sold out on her website, it's kind of, like, hard to get a picture. I highly doubt I will, but it is this beautiful dark blue. If you go to her Instagram, it's the dark blue that's in, like, some of her most recent posts. It's absolutely beautiful, and I'm so excited because this will be my second ever hank of hand-dyed yarn. My first one was from Sorella, which I made into socks again. And this will be my first ever non-superwash pair of socks. And so I'm going to cast those on after I finish this sock. And yes, if you guys were here last week, you guys will know. Hold up. It's literally in here somewhere. There it is. I got this yarn last week from Knit Picks, but I think I need a break from purple. And the only reason I'm doing the blue is because this is like a bright, this is a very bright blue. it's like light blue, and the Tempest is a deeper blue, and so I feel like I'm gonna get that contrast in my brain of like, it's not just the same color over and over and over and over and over again. And so after I finish this sock, I will either cast on the purple or cast on one of, if you see that little blue thing right there, that's where all of my other sock yarn is. I might just cast on like the green. It's a very beautiful emerald green. I might cast on that after this one, and then the purple, just so I really got like a full break of purple. Even though I don't know why I'm like shitting on purple. Like, it's a nice color. I think it's just, again, especially with all of the Musselburghs and it constantly being the same color over and over and over again, I'm more prone to getting sick of it, which is another reason why this sweater is going to stay on hold for a while, probably until like after Christmas, just because even though it's not the same brown at all, like this is a lighter brown, the thought of brown right now, the thought of brown makes me like sends chills down my spine. I don't want to like think of brown or think of anything in brown, and so she's going away until my ick for brown is gone. Don't know when that'll be, but whenever it is, she's getting right back on my needles, and it'll definitely be after Christmas because this is going to be using the needles until Christmas. And so I have until then to get over my ick of brown. But I think that is all for this week. I don't think I've got anything else yarn related. I will have one more podcast for the year and for the month of December, but for the year, and I think it actually goes up on New Year's Eve. Yep, New Year's Eve. And so that will be my last podcast of the year, and then my first one of next year will be the 14th of January. Unless I decide to go weekly again, which I highly doubt I will. Because I do like the bi-weekly. I feel like I have a lot more progress for you guys, and it's not just like, oh, I finished this one thing. It's like, oh, I finished these 2 things. I did a lot of my socks. I started a whole new top. I feel like I get a little bit more bi-weekly than I do weekly. Over the summer, after I graduate, I'll probably go back to weekly because I'll be home at a constant basis unless I'm working. But I don't know. We're going to stay bi-weekly for now. We might change to weekly in the future. But that is all for this episode of my Kendall's Creations podcast. As usual, my Etsy. Oh, I completely forgot to talk about. I got a sale on Etsy. Somebody bought a V from like a year ago that I have listed. She bought it for her daughter in New York as like, I think it's a Christmas gift or one of a Christmas gift. But like, it was like marked as a gift, and there was like a little message she wanted me to put in it, and like I almost cried when I got that because I just thought it was like, somebody saw my thing and was like, that would make such a good gift for my daughter. I cried. That made my like whole entire like mental health drop. Like, it was so cute. But anyways, so again, we're actually leaving and saying goodbye this time. As per usual, my Etsy, my Instagram will be linked in the description box, as well as Jessie Maid's Instagram. Who else did I talk about? Oh, Forest Lane Fiber Company's Instagram, or I'll do her Instagram because she doesn't have anything up on her website right now. Cascade Yarns will be up, and then I will put a list of all of the needles, like sizes, cable lengths, and brands in the description as well. And I forgot to mention again, as per usual, I'm using the Crazy Sock Ladies vanilla sock pattern, and the Crazy Sock Ladies Etsy will be linked down below, so if you guys want to make socks with me, you guys can. And that is all for this episode of the podcast. I will see you guys next week. Not next week. I just talked about how I'm doing bi-weekly for the week after next. Hopefully this won't be up too late. It's like 12:14 when I'm finishing this, I usually finish recording around like 4, and so I hope this won't be like one of the podcasts that go up at like 11 o'clock at night. I hope. Anyways, I'm gonna go now so I just don't ramble. So, goodbye.